Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy. Hi, angels. How are you doing? How's your April going? We are reading from April 20th to the 26th. We are in Taurus season. Thank you, Taurus season. It's a little hot in Aries season. Lots of things have happened. Lots of craziness has happened. Retrogrades, eclipses, all the things have happened. So I'm grateful we're in Taurus season. My Venus is in Taurus. So prepare for opulence, my friend. Because Taurus is very earth-based, tactile, beauty, and so I just have become this point where I'm deciding to be opulent. I'm just like, you know what? I want to feel good in my spaces. I want to see the beauty in the world and see the beauty in my space. And I just want to embrace that Venus energy during Taurus season because my Venus is in Taurus. So Taurus season is about being grounded. I mean, us air signs have a little bit of a struggle in Taurus season because it feels a little bit like mud, like we're walking through mud and we can't flow. And so, that's why I think sometimes we come across like a hurricane or a tornado is because we're like, fuck, we hate this stagnant shit.
Get out of here. I'm going to get myself out of here. Watch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. I love a good Taurus though. They're fun. My friend Roman's a Taurus and he is just, I love him. He embodies a Taurus. He has 7 planets in Taurus or 6 planets. Everything's in Taurus for him. And so he is just very earth and yeah, so love it. But anyways, happy Taurus season. Happy birthday, Tauruses. May your season be everything you need it to be, or make it be everything you need it to be. That's the thing. So, Vanessa, mermaids, what are they saying?
Well, so the mermaids brought out the miracles card. And when I looked at the miracles card today, I thought, what is a miracle? That was the first question that came to mind. So I was like, all right, I guess that's where we're going with this. I think that we're being asked to figure out our own relationship to miracles because I think sometimes we have a tendency to only look at the big miracles. And I feel like last time this card came out, it was kind of giving a bit of the same message, but we were in a different climate, in terms of the collective at that time. So I feel like even with the same message, it can mean something very different. But I think our relationship to miracles is the most important thing. I mean, our relationship to everything is the most important thing because we are manifesting from ourselves versus, whatever is around us. And the tendency for us to think about miracles is it's an outside force that creates something within us. And the reality being, as we know from manifestation, that we are also very powerful and that we can create our own miracles. You can't see my air quotes, but miracles simply because of starting to believe in something different than what we've already known. And I know for me, I'm a big dreamer and I do stuff and I'm like, whatever, and everybody sees this bravery in me, but it really is just a need to just do things differently. And the more that I've done it, the more I experience, oh, that's so cool. I never thought that could be that way. Or, so I think miracles for me feel like they have to be big in order for me to be in awe, right? And I have to focus on the everyday miracles for me to stay in that manifestation energy, right? When I look at my schedule every week and I see that it's full, I have to see that as the prior me miraculous. That's miraculous. I never thought that would happen, so that I can stay in that energy of what I believe a miracle is, which is something that maybe is hard to believe, but is right there. And it is a gift and it is something that is for my highest good, right? So, everybody sees this in all these other ways, but we also know that I was put on this planet to figure out relationship stuff. So I feel like personally, this card is do you believe in the miracle or are you not believing in that? And so I think again, like looking at this card and really examining where your belief system is in the things that you can have, and what is a miracle to you might not be something that you believe in, so you're not going to get it. And so that was like one of the big, like, personally, when I got this, where I was just like, so you didn't believe that a certain type of person existed, and then they showed up, and now you feel weird about that, right? Like, do you believe that this was a miracle, or do you like what is happening right now? What is your belief system about a miracle? What is that, an outside thing that came, or is that something that you did draw to you and you can participate in, and something that isn't being forced upon you? It's something that you're co-creating. So I know that that was a lot, and it's very weird and all over the place. And I feel like even this card is weird and all over the place purposefully, because it's not meant to be, here's a miracle and here's a miracle and here's a miracle. It is really very personal to you of what you believe is wow and what you believe is mundane, and switching that up as much as you can so that you can live in what feels like a miraculous life every day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like we were talking earlier about my sourdough journey right now, and how every time like I feed my sourdough and she eats all the flour, and I get so excited. I like, it is like, for me it's miraculous that I've kept her alive, A. B, it's miraculous that, like, bread was my nemesis for so long, and I never could successfully make it, and I was always so intimidated. And to have been successful in creating, I didn't like get us started. I created her from ground up. And like the fact that I've cultivated her and nurtured her, and I've baked with her, and I've made bread with her, and the fact that she can nurture me and I nurture her, and then there's this reciprocity in this process. And I know it's really weird to some people, and some people like, it's just sourdough. To me, it's a relationship. And so it's miraculous that I am in this space, and I get this kind of sense of like, oh my God, I'm so excited that I just did that. Like, we're doing the thing. And that's kind of like, I think, what Vanessa's sharing about living in the miraculousness daily, of like, wow, just that wonderment. It's not even gratitude, it's the wonderment of like, I am here and doing this thing. And like the fact that I have bandwidth to do bread, like, y'all know, less than a year ago, I'd have been like, I don't even have it right now. I don't even got it. I barely have it to create the podcast. Like, I had no mental bandwidth. I had no energetic bandwidth. And now I'm like, I'm going to make bread, and I'm going to make discard recipes on a whim. I made banana bread yesterday. I was like, who am I? I usually have to plan that 3 weeks in advance. Like, so it's the miracles can be so silly to some, but are so deeply important to others. And so you can't categorize your miracles based on what the world is telling you is a miracle. If you being here on earth is a miracle, and you're in wonderment about the fact that you're alive, that is your miracle. If you have a miracle that you've made it through, and you're on your healing journey, and you're healing and you're evolving, if that's your miracle, that's your miracle. If you woke up today and you feel that's a miracle, that's your miracle. Don't let anyone ever tell you that something is or isn't a miracle. It is what it is. And speaking of miracles, so the surrender card today is surrender your soul's path, right? So your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. This is the idea of what Vanessa was saying, is living in your miracles, living in every moment. It's not that you have to have reverence of every second of every day. I'm not saying that, because sometimes brushing your teeth is just brushing your teeth. Having your tea is having your tea. But some days, having your tea on the couch and watching the birds and the squirrels, and and just kind of being and seeing and witnessing things that are beautiful to you, it is part of your soul's plan, everything. And it's not that we don't have autonomy of our soul and our journey, because we make those choices, but know that sometimes the choices we make are because there's something we need to learn. There's something we need to understand before we do the thing we want to do. And so You know, if we kind of understand we are in, like Vanessa was saying, co-creation of things, then we are in that space with our soul. We're not just co-creating with the universe. It's not just us and them. It's you're co-creating with your soul, your 3D version, your brain, your body, your 3D, you know, person in this world is co-creating with your soul. Your soul agreed to come into this body. And so when it has, you're in that place. And could you imagine how different life could be if you had this sense of always being like, all right, this is what I want to create. Soul, what do you think? Like having almost this internal team of feedback, of support, of whatever. It's there. It really is. It's there. It's a lot of learning how to access and understanding that you can at any time and in any way. I mean, some of you that are like, well, I'm not intuitive, I'm not psychic. Yes, you are, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point. It's
Sorry to burst your bubble, but
yeah,
you're just doing it actively with
exactly.
awareness.
And you don't have to do this stuff in order to be connected to it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I love the connectivity of that, because as you were talking about the soul's path, I was like, man, is it full of miracles, right? In
Yeah.
my mind, like looking backwards is, because we are in our 3D and our brains are like, oh, give me some proof, right? And like, man, can I look backwards and be like, those are some freaking miracles. So like, I don't know what the hell happened there, but that had to happen because that was my path, right? Like, and not even just like the fucking destruction, right? Like, I mean, those
Yeah.
are pretty clear. And I also participated very highly in those. But some of the other things that feel like, wow, how did that happen? Like, I wasn't even really participating in that, but how did that happen? It's like, because that was your soul's path and you were manifesting from your soul in that moment. You just didn't quite get that in your head, right? And
Yeah.
so that's that belief system inside our heads, right? Like we tend to feel like our belief system is in our soul, but many times we're doing it from our brains and just can't tell the difference. And so that's that, when I go backwards and I'm like, look at how, even when you were in your own way all the time, how your soul's path just came through for you and created those moments of awe so that you could shift or change, or at the very least sit your ass down and be like, oh shit, like there's more to the story,
Yeah.
to my story. So yeah, I love that.
And and if you ever need to understand how miraculous your life is, share it with another person
Mm.
and hear their reaction. So all of you know I was just in Chicago with my company on an on-site meeting new people that are part of the team and whatever. And we were at dinner and I was sharing some things about where I've lived and some of the things, and they're like, "Oh my God, you've done so much." And I'm like, really? Because
Like,
I don't
haven't
see
done
it.
enough. Yeah.
I don't see it as like, she's like, "You're just adventurous. Your life has been adventurous." And I'm like, "It has?" And I'm like, I don't look at my life that way. I just follow the
Yeah.
path. And so sometimes when you get perspective of people who see your life differently, you see the miracles in it. The miracles in having uh, cashing out my retirement plans every time I needed to move, or taking loans on them because that was available to me. And I knew that I was being called to. And so I did the thing that spirit led me to do. And I did them. And I could hear financial people going like, you did what? But too bad, so sad. That it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, I'm never going to stop working. It's just the way it is. But I will be doing work that isn't work. So it's just I've been given that gift, and the miracle that I drove across country with TJ, my cat at the time. I landed in a place that I knew nobody, had no job, and had no place to live, and how much I thrived in doing that, and just arriving in those spaces. Those are fucking miracles, man. But I don't see them because I just was like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
Like,
they're also burning desires. So we're like,
yeah,
these can't be miracles. These are musts.
yeah,
Can't see
yeah,
it that way until
yeah.
afterwards. Where we're like, how the hell did you actually do that?
I know. And like we have a couple of Canadians on our team, and they were like, you just showed up, you just moved to and I'm like, yeah, I just moved. I just came. And they were like, what? You did all that? And you did the immigration thing? I'm like, yep, did that too. And they're like, oh my God. I'm like,
It's so weird, right? Like, it's definitely like when people say to me, Vanessa, that's not so obvious. And I'm like, good to
yeah,
know, because it's obvious in my brain. So I
exactly.
just sometimes forget that other people are not as like driven. Yeah, I think for me, it's the air thing, right? Like I can't help it. Like these are not all the time conscious decisions. I don't just sit here and go, I'm looking for adventure and whatever. It's just like, ah,
Stuff
I
just
gotta
happens.
go, whatever
Yeah,
that go means.
it just happens.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
but I also,
follow and I don't try to squish it anymore. And so I guess
right?
that's the difference, right? Is that I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, squishing it feels way worse than just doing it. Like, do it.
Yeah. Yep. And and it's funny because I think too is that I think when we think about cultivating, creating, and allowing the miracles, like you'll know the miracle of knowing when it's time to not and when it's time to
Mhm.
stop. And yeah, and I don't know when that'll ever be, but there it is. So,
Yeah.
but hopefully, I do plan on staying in North Carolina for a very long time. So my moving days may be over, but internally, but not across the country. I'm done with that. Thank you very much. It's really stressful. It's very hard. This last time wasn't fun. So our money card this week is I create my financial reality. You do. I
Mhm.
create beautiful abundance. And you do. True
Yes.
story. So
So true.
I hope you have a good week, my friends. Happy Taurus season. And we will see you next week.
Mhm.
Thanks for listening. We hope we gave you something to support your journey. Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.